essentially, it is about driving the horse to water, not making it drink it, not even attempting to make it drink it, but just driving it till the water. Hello and welcome to BuzzBees. Today we're going to be talking about buzz marketing. Have you ever seen an advertisement that you couldn't stop sharing yourself with your friends? Or an advertisement that set the entire social media on fire with virtually everyone talking about it? I'm sure you have. There's an entire branch of advertising that specifically intends to create a buzz amongst its audiences and or on the social media that it's employing. It's called buzz marketing. And that's our scope for discussion today. Buzz marketing is defined as the amplification of initial marketing efforts by third party through their passive or active audiences. Let me simplify that for you. Buzz marketing is a way that marketing that is essentially employed by companies to maximize their word of mouth for a product or a service or a brand. The company could achieve that through conversations amongst their target consumer circles or large-scale discussions on social media platforms. I am sure you've seen those tongue in the cheek tweets by different brands that go viral, and everyone on your feed is talking about them. Remember those bright red creatives by Zomato that employ witty commentary on topical issues which sends Twitterati on a frenzy? Or the very recent Cred advertisement that featured a very angry Rahul Dravid screaming and shouting at Bangalore's traffic jam? Those are very nuanced examples of buzz marketing or buzz advertising at play. But this form of advertising has been a very recent phenomenon. The increasing reach of the internet and onboarding of these internet users on social media has really helped this form of advertising. A research conducted by Professor Iris Moore identifies three major steps in the process of buzz marketing. The first step involves some jaw-dropping event, which is completely wrapped around the organization's branding to get people talking. The basic idea is to have a product or service that provides value to its customers to facilitate organic sharing of its content. The second step is to create viral content and generate buzz about the brand. Some characteristics that this viral content should try and cover are that it should evoke high arousal, it should engage positive emotions, it should create a connection or empathy between the content and the content consumer, it should be a little newsworthy, it should be easily understood, it should be quickly consumed in a media format, it should be simple to share, it should generate value or work towards a goal when it's shared, it should not reflect negatively on any kind of sharer, and it should appeal to the broad or universal interests or topic areas. The third and final step is seeding. It determines the first group of target customers to initiate a viral marketing campaign. Seeding to well-connected people is the most successful seeding strategy approach because these attractive seeding points are more likely to participate in viral marketing. Typically, buzz marketing is driven by social media word-of-mouth influencers and connectors to share brand information and to proactively start conversations around it. User profiling of online social media users is done in many different ways. There is either high involvement, regular, or low involvement. They can further be divided into optimists, pessimists, or skeptics. And based on these various filters, OSM users are divided into categories like advocates, voicers, listeners, analysts, debaters, laggards, antagonists, opposers, and aloofs. Now, with all this theory that I've bored you with, I'm now going to finally start and bring in an industry person to give us some very practical, ground-rooted advice on what buzz marketing has looked like, what needs to be done in the future, what brands are currently doing, and to give us a very whole, well-rounded picture of buzz marketing at play. We have with us Priyanka, who's been working with Dentsu, the advertising giant, for the past 3 years. She's extensively worked with brands like Honda and is involved in the scripting, direction, and shoot of several of their very famous advertisements. All right. Okay. So Priyanka, we're going to start off. I'm going to start with a very generic question for you as somebody who's had her skin in the game for a while now. What have you observed has the evolution of advertisements from the television era to the current social marketing era actually been like?
So I'm going to take you back to your childhood when we were, we were always watching television commercials. How many ads can you recall out of that? 5, 10, 25, 30. Those 30 brands would keep coming in loop again and again. And that was television for you. What you see is a regular Indian household. The setup is that you have emotional advertising going on and the stories that are relatable to you. That is how Indian advertising was, one ad fitting all. You bring emotions to the story, you show a household, and that's it. That is how you sell the brands. The objective was also to create awareness that, now you move ahead from your traditional ways of doing stuff and look at what capitalism is providing you. The type of, FMCG products that was suddenly bombarded. But the storyline stayed the same, the concept stayed the same. However, what has recently happened in the last 5 years, let's talk about very recent, is the seller is reaching out to the consumer directly without the screen of a television. I see that, okay, Oshin observes or eats certain types of food, has a certain type of lifestyle. I am going to customize the ad to Oshin's preferences and recommendations. Where is she, to what does she do, to what does she eat? I have all the information right there and then, and I customized my product and I want action to be taken. This is the level of advertising shift that we've seen, where from a fit to all one ad for the entire nation to thousands of ads getting changed every single second, with Facebook and LinkedIn making customized ads every 20 seconds, is the shift that we've seen in the last 5 years, I'd say.
From household advertisements, which now that I think about it, you're absolutely right. I think there was always a household in every television ad that I remember. To capitalism, to the fact that I'm being watched every second, I think you've attacked me a little too much. I am now going to move.
The work of marketers.
I am now going to move to my next question, Priyanka. So now let's finally talk a little bit about buzz marketing. As a strategy, we see that it's gained a lot of traction in the recent past. I want to understand how you think it's being intertwined with social media and how the word of mouth marketing is also now becoming a very important element of buzz marketing.
So I'm going to continue with what we've discussed already, that we are bombarded with ads now. You look at YouTube, you look at Instagram, any platform that you go to, it's none of the platforms are ad virgins, unless you pay for it, of course. So if you're not paying for it, you cannot stop but will be bombarded with ads. And the only thing that you tend to do is avoid those. You can't help but there's a wall that is being created. Every time you see an ad, you want to skip it. There is no other option. You are clicking on the skip in 3 seconds, skip in 2 seconds, right? In that situation, where do marketers go? How do I sell my product to you? I reach out to your own circle and make the people around you talk to you about my product. I want you to listen about my product from your friends, from your influencer circle, your idols that you follow, to where you go professionally. Everywhere, I want my product to be talked about to you, so that even if your attention span is not there, you are at least passively listening to what my product is. You look at a Samsung ad on YouTube, you want to skip in 2 seconds. Your friend is talking about a new phone that he's bought and amazing pictures and the beautiful filters that the phone presents. You are listening. You are in 100% in that conversation. That is buzz marketing for me, where you're creating buzz around certain products, ideas, thoughts, actions. So, buzz marketing is not restricted to marketing. The biggest example to understand how buzz marketing is intertwined with everything is cryptocurrency. Now, let's go back to 2017. Midway, all you hear is people making money, and how. You see it like a Lakshmi scheme, like Fir Hera Fairy, 100 rupees getting doubled within days, and it is happening. It is not a fraud. You see your friends making money. You don't even understand what is cryptocurrency. You're putting money out of it, right? You're making money out of it. That is buzz marketing. You are just creating a constant recall of your product, and you, without even knowing you're doing that product, You're not even understanding why am I using this. You're using it. That is buzz marketing for you. And how is it intertwined with social media is another level from advertisers, where you see influencers telling you that you need a special patch for puff eyes after you wake up. You didn't even know you have puff eyes after you wake up. I mean, come on. Do you even know what does it do? No, you're using it. What is charcoal mask? We didn't even know that you can put charcoal on your faces. That's influencer marketing for you. You're continuously being told what is required by you and you need to use without even you thinking about it. That is how buzz marketing and creating a sort of FOMO is the base of buzz marketing being intertwined with social media.
You know, when we were doing this course for which we're making this podcast, our professor had talked about micro influencers, and they talked about how your friends are also influencing you. But I think back then we didn't take it very seriously. But now that you've mentioned this the way you have, I'm going to be very cynical of every single friend of mine talking about any damn product, because I'm going to be like, am I getting influenced by this? And should I be influenced by this when I wasn't really interested in the product or the ad? But this is a very beautiful take, especially bringing in cryptocurrency, because yeah, we've all, like I think we talked about this, how back in 2017 we all heard about it, and now we're all wondering where it's headed. But did we all put in something there or invest a little bit? I think we did, even though we don't like to admit it now.
How many of us would be able to even read the cryptographs? We are just putting money because Elon Musk is putting money into Doge money. You're putting money into Doge money. That's it. That's how it works.
And boy, did that guy screw us all. I mean, I'm going to pick out 3 brands that I can think of right now off of the top of my head, who do 3 different kinds of buzz marketing. There is Zomato, as we know them. Their notifications, they make you want to order biryani on a day where you thought you're going to eat healthy. Then there is Cred. Cred has been doing some weird and some great ads at the same time. And then there's also this brand called Sleepy Owl, in case you've seen their Instagram and Facebook ads.
Right.
There's this lady sitting on her desk, knocking on your computer screen and telling you, I paid 62 rupees for this ad to reach to you. So here's our coffee and this is what our coffee does.
Yeah.
What do you think? They're all projecting very different kinds of buzz marketing happening in the world today. What do you think works? What do you think does not work? What is your take on what these agencies or these companies have been doing?
The underlining idea of any ad is to stand out. You want to stand out, and how do you stand out? Either you throw them with surprise. There's a surprise element. Okay, you don't expect the seller to say, I have paid 60 bucks, buy my product. That is a surprise element. Or you break the monotony by giving them humor, right? You look at Zomato one-liner as it's a pun. There's a pun marketing going on. You enjoy memes. So Zomato is like, okay, I will get every single meme writer on Instagram to work for me. That is Zomato for you. Cred is, you don't expect certain icons to behave so weirdly. We, after watching so much content on OTT platform, we are suddenly have a very sort of an inclination towards weird stuff. Okay, let me put it in, I don't have a better word for weird, but you just want quirky stuff to catch your attention. You don't want basic drama. So that is what is Cred doing for you. You don't expect the bowlers from 83 World Cup to sing a song for you. You don't expect Tanmay Bhatt to come on screen for you, right? So that is it is just breaking monotony. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is because we're changing every day. We cannot forecast the behavior to a level that you can say that this is going to work. As we discussed, when in 2000s and 2010s, when you are putting Deepika Padukone on screen with Shah Rukh Khan selling a soap, you know that it is going to sell. I mean, come on, it's SRK on the screen. It is going to sell. But will Tanmay Bhatt sell? You don't know. It is, that's the basic format of buzz marketing or influencer marketing for that is you have to keep trying. You have to keep experimenting. Some of them will catch your attention. Some of them won't. But the basic idea is to stand out and in ways that are not practiced. So now the credibility is coming out. What if tomorrow two more brands are doing the same? You would not even pay attention. You'll be like, oh, I know what is happening, right? So you cannot say that, oh, this worked, so it's going to work for my brand. Every day, figure out new things to reach out to consumers and break the monotony.
Oh, I think as people who are going to be entering the market soon, I can see how much pressure that's going to be in the coming years, because yes, there's no reinventing the wheel. You need to be building skater boards now. That's
Every day,
the
every
way I
second.
see it.
Yeah.
All right. So Priyanka, what companies do you think, or what brands do you think have been doing the best buzz marketing lately? It could be Indian, it could be foreign brands. What comes to your mind? What's something that inspires you?
Yeah, I'm going to give a very an example that I don't know if people bought it or not, but I had for me personally, being on this side of the screen, I have observed is there's a brand called Wow shampoos and conditioners, Wow skincare products.
Yes.
This brand came out of nowhere, gave no new products, had no faces, have no influencer that was pitching for it initially. It had no winning recipe. It was every other brand that was out there. But they cleaned the floor, and how? Because they reached the micro influencer to a level that even your mother was a micro influencer to a level. I know a friend who's working there. They pick people who have more than 3,000 followers, and that's it. You just need 3,000 followers to sell a product of Wow. Imagine the level of bombarding that was done. These influencers are cheap to, afford their services. You can actually have a barter. You sell our products, we'll give you Wow products. That is also a way of, telling them use your product and you make your family use it, right? You're telling your friends do it. Wow suddenly became India's in top 10 most used products because it was cheap, because it was all over the place. And at least you wanted to try what is happening. And I think that is where they knew that we've made our mark.
Wow, that's a very unique take. Also, I think somewhere I could be wrong, but I think the pandemic helped them because a lot of people were home. So a lot of people were also free to do it, because I think Wow popped up the most in the last 1 year. Like, it's been all over Instagram. I don't know how they've been managing, but yeah, they've done a great job. Um, yeah, please. I'd
I
love
was
to
just
hear that.
talking about this only, that the only reason why they worked is because they picked that, okay, people are free at home. That's
Right.
pandemic is making them bold. What do they want? They want free products. Okay, they want to be influencer because, well, you can't get into movies directly. So you just pick the nerve right there, and that's it. That works for you.
That's I think quite rightly put. Talked about Honda cars in the previous question.
Right.
So taking that a little forward and bringing buzz marketing into the picture, I just want to understand whether is buzz marketing something that can be used by high involvement goods, or do you think it should be limited to low involvement and medium involvement goods, given how it needs to keep evolving every day? So do you think it's something that is meant for high involvement goods? If yes, then how do we modify it? Or is it just, does it work just the way it is? What's your take on the whole thing?
Sure. So yes, I'm going to agree to your point that it is easier for low involvement products to resort to buzz marketing, because if I'm impressed for a minute, even for 30 seconds by an influencer, I can still buy 100 rupee worth product. I don't need to use brands, so it's easier for them. When it comes to high involvement market, my objective changes. I cannot sell you a car online. No matter what happens, you're not going to buy a car online. You want to test that car. You want to at least try 10 cars of the same range, of the same functions, right? You want to talk from people who've used this car, because this decision is going to be a longer term impact, a bigger impact process. So what you do, you break the process of me buying a car. Okay, and you figure out where buzz marketing actually helps. Buying is something that buzz marketing cannot help you with. Okay, a second hand buying can actually help. Can where you see influencers, showing trust that these second hand cars are doing well. You create some sort of, some sort of assurance. However, where it helps is creating consideration and creating awareness. Your objective is not for them to buy the car. Your objective is for them to test the car. Your product will do the job. You want them to at least go for a test drive. You want them to take out at least half an hour to take out. That's enough for them, because in EMI financing is easier. It is now question is when the question is not when I'm ready to buy a car. The question is, when am I ready to invest my time to figure out which car do I want to buy. And that their buzz marketing helps. You see that there's a new car. When Kia came out, it was buzz marketing. Every single influencer was making a reel sitting inside a Kia, and there's a famous influencer called Vishnu, and he's very popular for meme marketing and funny content, and he became a huge, even a bigger influencer after coming up with an ad on Kia, where he says, turn the car, bhaiya, turn the car. That's one sentence that took him and increased his followers by millions. And that was a sponsored ad. And people tried Kia. He only projected them to go and try it out. That is how buzz marketing works. You want them to book a drive. You talk about high-end brands for clothing, right? You want to buy expensive clothes. Louis Vuitton, you want to put 80,000 rupees in a dress. You don't want the experience only to be online. You want to go to the showroom, have your Starbucks coffee while you're moving around between the clothes. So what they want is, they're just pushing you to go to that place. They want you to go to that showroom and see. So you see your influencers taking a tour of the showroom, going for the launch, and that this is launched, and I'm so excited. H&M and Sabyasachi when came, it's the very latest thing that came out. H&M Sabyasachi, one saree was 10,000 rupees. People went crazy. Call it a negative marketing. It worked for them. A 10,000 saree had the limelight that they wanted. I went to H&M showroom. I can't afford a 10,000 saree. My mom would slap me. I went to the showroom just to see what's the hype about. You see the way how they've created the entire showroom experience that you want to buy. I ended up buying a scarf. I have Sabyasachi product, beat that. That is buzz marketing for you. So it does not depend whether it is a high involvement product or low involvement. You just have to modify your objectives and see where all can I patch my product advertising. And that's that.
So essentially, it is about driving the horse to water, not making it drink it, not even attempting to make it drink it, but just driving it till the water.
Would that you make them thirsty. You make the horse thirsty. Wow. That's that.
Oof, that's a very beautiful analogy that we just came up with. That was nice. I liked that. All right, Priyanka, last couple of things that I'd like to cover with you. The first one is, how have you seen client demands evolve in the recent past, with buzz marketing coming to the forefront?
Can I give you a personal example of at least what I was working for a brand called Honda Cars, and I worked with them for 3 years, and in those 3 years, the car is a very mundane sort of a brand when it comes to advertising. You want to test drive your car. How you're not going to put 7 lakh rupees into an ad, into just looking at an ad and okay, oh, now I'm going to buy a Honda City. That is not how it works, right? So earlier, advertising was very mundane in that segment, that you create one television commercial out of it. You come up with nice graphics to put on that brochure that you look at it, and that's it. The product would do their job, or the sales team would do the selling. That is how we saw ads. And in my 3 years working with them, I saw in the last phase that we suddenly started working a lot on social media. What we started figuring out that, okay, this is a person who is in a metro. When he's going from office to home, this person is facing issues because metro is not convenient to travel in office hours. Now, this is the time where I want to tell him, you need to buy a car. how can you travel in metro? You are tired. You need to celebrate yourself. Come on, buy a car, book your test drive right now. The digital marketing arena has, moved to a level that it is geo targeting you. We know that you are traveling in metro. We know that you're standing in front of, or rather in the middle of 10 uncles, and you just can't help but feel the stink. You want a car right now, so you book, and within a second you're booking a test drive that is coming Sunday to your place to take you out. That is how things have changed, and clients have changed, because the clients also understand all of this. The client wants every single day to figure out these insights, to understand. For us as marketers, earlier it was a very subjective take to things. Intuition was a big deal, that my market study and my understanding tells me that this is how consumer works. So earlier it was a very intuitive insight mining that we used to do. Now it is an extremely quantitative insight mining that we do. I know exactly when Oshin travels and when she buys a particular product, why she buys a particular product. It cannot be subjective anymore. I do not have 10 crores to put on a subjective insight. That is how the clients have changed. That is how the briefs that we receive have changed. And yeah, everybody is moving, and it's a learning that we're doing every single day in a team collaborative effort, because they don't know shit. We don't know shit. We're all learning.
I love how, this brings back a very small incident from my childhood. I used to go cycling in the evening, and my father used to tell me, don't ever follow the same route or don't ever go out at the same time, because if you have a very punctual schedule, the chances of you getting kidnapped are higher.
Where are you getting kidnapped?
This is kidnapping in the most marketeer's way possible. You're looking at our schedules, when we're buying what, at 7th of every month, I'm going to need a bottle of shampoo or something like that. And ads are going to keep popping up. It's crazy. Alright, folks. So that's all we had for you today. That's it from BuzzBees. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe. Keep your masks up. Bye bye. Take care.